It's that time of year when American football is kicking off, pun intended. And many of you are probably putting together the perfect fantasy football team. I myself am doing the same in hopes to win my league this year. And as I was putting together my team, it reminded me of a conversation I had with a friend. Now this friend, he's in sales. And like a lot of conversations with friends, oftentimes we talk about work. And I asked him how he enjoyed being a salesman. Now, he was very prompt to correct me. And he was adamant when he told me he wasn't a salesman. He was something much bigger and a part of something much greater. He was a member of a sales team. Welcome back to the Building the Future podcast. I am your host, Brett Thorne. And this episode, we're going to talk all about the sales team. But before we do that, let's first talk about teams in general. Teams come in many shapes and sizes. It's not universal. Let's take our sports analogy, for example. You can have an Olympic team, but it's made up of a lot of individuals participating in individual sports. The individual can perform very well and win, even though the team loses. You compare that to other sports like football, to where the team either wins or loses, regardless of how the individuals perform. So when I was talking to my friend, I wanted to have a better understanding of their sales team. And to give you a little backstory, the company he works for, they have several categories of products they sell. And in each of those categories, they have multiple product lines. They have a very diverse customer base, and their business relies on repetitive customers that they continue to sell and service. So, you might ask, is this individual part of the building materials industry? Actually, no, he's not. It's very parallel with the business structure, but he was actually part of the medical industry. There's a lot of similarities there, except for maybe the margins. But I was very curious about the sales team and how it functioned and how it was built. What he told me was that their sales team had two divisions. They had hunters and farmers. And in each of those divisions, they may have specialists for the different categories and different product lines they offered. But there's two distinct divisions. Now, those divisions had separate roles. The hunters, they were obviously responsible for bringing in new customers and selling new product lines and categories to existing customers. The farmers, they were responsible for maintaining all their customers. That continued business and support. But those divisions weren't separate. They worked together at all times. For instance, when they were bringing on new customers, the hunters and farmers got together, devised the plan to best present to that customer. The farmers put together a lot of the data that they were going to need based on that customer. And then the hunters went out and sold them. Once the hunters got the job done, they then came back and handed that off to the farmers. Walked them through what those customers' specific needs were based off of their actual presentation, in order to give them the best opportunity to service that customer. And as those customers had more needs, more requirements, the farmers then kicked it back to the hunters to go out and sell them those additional services and product lines. It was very cyclical, to where everything worked together. The entire team worked as a unit. So, from talking to my friend, there was a couple key takeaways I got from that. First and foremost, for them, there was no I in team. They were a single unit. They won together and they lost together. Every member of that team was responsible for every customer. Second thing I took away from that was their team was self-regulated. If you were a member of that team, everybody else on that team expected you to perform at your best level. And if not, they replaced you or put you in a role that you could perform at. And the third thing I took away from that was that this organization capitalized on productivity and efficiency by maximizing the individual strengths of the members of the team and removed all of their weaknesses and inefficiencies. So, what kind of team do you have? What kind of team would you like to build? Because together we are building the future.